Okay, let's look at another pattern of business models, and this one is called free. Now, in a free business model, you have at least one substantial customer segment that's able to continuously benefit from a free of charge offer. Okay. And different patterns make different free offers available. But at the crux of it, non-paying customers are being financed or subsidized, cross-subsidized by other parts of the model or by other customer segments. And that only makes sense. I mean, you can't, there has to be some revenue in the firm. So if you're offering a product or service free, money has to be coming in from some other source. And so this is what this model is about. And this free model, okay, or thinking about free in terms of business model, demand generated by a price of zero is many, many, many times more than the demand of just 1 cent or any other price. Just like for a quick example, demand for a a phone that costs $10, okay, is going to be huge, but it's not going to. You can't compare it to a phone that's offered for free. Okay, so the key to this, of course, is that and why free has become such a powerful business model, especially these days, is that the cost of producing certain giveaways, especially digital ones, have fallen dramatically. But keep in mind, to make a profit, you still must generate revenue somehow. So the fact that your costs have gone way down so you can give your service away for free, you still got to figure out how to generate some revenue in order for you to make a profit. Now, within this free category, he has a couple. Ostwalder's put a couple of subcategories, and one of them is advertising. Now, advertising, these kind of overlap with what we talked about in a multi-site platform, because advertising is a multi-site platform. It's well established, well-established source of revenue. You attract users with free content, with free products or free services. And then the other side, okay, attracts the advertisers. Okay, so it's the users are there, and because they're users there, then advertisers want to be there. And this model is putting together this platform. And so since there are many users and many advertisers, that's why it's this multi-sided platform. And we can look at publications. He uses Metro a number of different times, which is kind of interesting, given that it's a Swedish-based company. But it's a free newspaper that users are attracted by the content, and then the advertisers are attracted to the users. But it is important to keep in mind that just because you are offering free content in terms of a newspaper or magazine doesn't mean that you're going to be successful necessarily. Okay, so advertising is certainly one of these free models. Second one, which has gotten popular over the last couple of years, is called freemium, a play off premium. Actually, it's a combined free and premium to get freemium. And freemium is very simple. It's basically a blend, as you would expect, of free basic services with a paid premium service. So you have a very small base of users, of paid users, that's subsidizing the free users. And we can think of lots of freemium sort of services whether it be Flickr or Skype or services like that, whereby most people use them for free, and the basic services are perfect for them. But there's some that need some additional services and are willing to pay a fee for that. And while that's just a small fraction, the amount that they pay is enough to subsidize the free users and to pay for the extra services that they're getting. This model requires you to look at some key metrics, some key numbers, and one is the average cost of servicing a free user. Your average cost of servicing a free user, one, you need to know it, but it has to be reasonable, because let's say that gets out of hand, then even though you're being subsidized by the paying customers, it still might not be enough to cover the cost of the free users, given that the free users, in terms of volume and number, are going to be many, many, many times the paid users. So that's one, the average cost of servicing a free user. And the second is your conversion rate. At what rate do free users convert into paying users? Is it 1 out of 10? Is it 1 out of 100? Is it 2 out of 100? What is that rate? Okay, because that's important, because it will allow you, taking into account the average cost of servicing a user, what to price your premium service. What to price your premium service. And then he has one called bait and hook. Bait and hook. I'm not sure I like the term bait and hook, but we'll go along with bait and hook. And that's characterized by an attractive, inexpensive, or free initial offer that encourages future purchases of a related product or service. And then he talks about Loss Leader and King Gillette. And I think that while you could call them subcategories of bait and hook, generally people look at the King Gillette model separately, in that what the King Gillette model is about is not so much bait and hook, even though there's that element, but it's purchase of one product that you're selling at a very low cost or giving away free, and then generating the substantial part of your revenue through your consumables. So the razor itself is very inexpensive, but the blades are expensive, and that's where you generate your margin. And there's some sort of lock-in, because if you buy the razor from Gillette, then you need to buy the blades from Gillette. If you buy your printer from Canon, then you need to buy the ink cartridges from Canon as well. There's that little lock-in, and IP and patent and other issues come into play there. Loss Leader, a perfect example, is the mobile phone, where you have these tremendous deals to get in, and then after you're in, okay, that's when you're kind of stuck a little bit to a certain degree. Okay. And then this model is standard practice for mobile operators, where the operator themselves lose money by pretty much giving away mobile phones for free or very, very low price. But over time, okay, because you're locked in, the monthly fees and whatnot will certainly offset the initial costs of the phone that you've gotten for low cost or free from this recurring revenue. But anyway, this bait and hook is an interesting model. It's something that you should consider. It works when you have some sort of a lock-in or very high switching costs, okay, where you can't, the user can't switch very easily to a competitive product. And again, as I said before, that might have some IP implications. So that's basically it with in terms of free. It's important to note that Chris Anderson is the person he wrote a book called Free, and he was very, very influential in pushing the free models out into the public consciousness. And of course, Chris Anderson is the same person that really came up with the term long tail and got that out into public consciousness as well.